More than 50 million euros are on the line in a negotiation that could shake Real Madrid's squad. An important player may be leaving right now, even against his will. And meanwhile, another star who just arrived might completely change position, in a move nobody expected. A secret plan is being cooked up in the heart of the Bernabeu. And hold on, a Premier League giant has been put on ice and Real Madrid is just waiting to strike. Oh, and an uncomfortable truth about one of our attacking stars has been exposed. And you are not going to like finding out who is taking the place of leader in Madrid's attack. But before I tell you all that, if you're a true Madridista, go ahead and subscribe to the channel now. Turn on notifications, because here it's only hot news about the biggest club in the world. Things are heating up behind the scenes at Real Madrid, with Rodrygo's name gaining traction in the Premier League. According to Goal, Tottenham is back at it and has made a bold proposal to take the Brazilian on loan. The English are so desperate for a reinforcement in attack that they agreed to pay 100% of Rodrygo's salary and even offer a loan fee to Real Madrid. That's right, Los Blancos could profit and at the same time free up space in the squad with a player who, honestly, seems to be losing ground since Mbappe's arrival. The curious part is that Rodrygo himself never showed any desire to leave. But in the debut against Osasuna, he was left on the bench. And he did not like that at all. Reports say he left with his head down, barely speaking to anyone. And when a player's mind starts to get heavy, my friends, the next step is a packed suitcase. And there's more. Tottenham lost Son, failed to close with Eze, and sees Rodrygo as the perfect solution. But will he really agree to trade the glamour of the Bernabeu for a season in London with a team that isn't even playing in the Champions League? This soap opera is far from over, but the Madrid board already looks favorably on this temporary exit. It's money coming in and space in the squad being cleared. So fan, would you loan out Rodrygo for a season? Do you think he can still be important? Or is it time to let him look for minutes elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to see your opinion. And while some may be on their way out, others are still trying to find their place in the most star-studded squad on the planet. And I'm talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold, Real Madrid's new signing who arrived with Premier League status, a star for the England national team. But so far, he hasn't shown what he came here for wearing the white shirt. The guy who was simply a reference at Liverpool, considered by many the best right back in the world, had a rather dull debut in La Liga, in a match that should have been about proving himself, winning the fans' trust, and sending that message like, "I've arrived." But that's not what happened. In the game against Osasuna, at a packed Santiago Bernabeu, with the eyes of the world all on him, Trent was discreet, error-prone, and had no real impact on the match. He seemed nervous, out of rhythm, and even a bit lost on the pitch. And of course, that raised the red flag. Xabi Alonso, who knows every inch of Madrid's midfield, has already started thinking outside the box. According to Defensa Central, the coach is working on a totally unexpected plan B, using Trent as a central midfielder, putting him in a role more focused on building the game, and moving Dani Carvajal back to right back, a position where he has been the undisputed starter for years. And before anyone thinks this is just improvisation or desperation, hold on. Trent himself has already played several times as a midfielder, both at Liverpool and for the England squad. He's got vision, long passes, ball control, and tactical awareness. In other words, all the ingredients are there. It just needs to fit into Real's system. But here's the question that keeps hammering in the fans' heads. Will he be able to adapt to Spanish football? Because here, the pressure is different, the pace is different, and the Bernabeu has no patience for anyone who takes too long to get going. The board has already tried to calm things down. The football department believes the Englishman has the potential to become one of the key pieces in Real Madrid's tactical transition, as long as he gets time, confidence, and of course, support from the fans. Because there's no point demanding performances if the player is under pressure before he even feels comfortable on the field. And Xabi Alonso himself isn't going to waste his chances. He knows the potential of the number 66, he knows what he can deliver, and he wants to find the best way to get the most out of his talent without sacrificing the defensive consistency Carvajal always provides. If you like the idea of seeing Trent in midfield, drop a like on this video. And if you think he should fight for the right-back position with Carvajal, smash that like too. I want to see everyone joining in. And if there's one thing Real Madrid knows how to do, it's plan with cold blood. And that's exactly what's happening with Liverpool's defender, Ibrahima Konate. According to Diario AS and Foot Mercato, the player was offered to Real Madrid, Barcelona, and PSG. Liverpool wants around 50 million euros, but Real was clear they'll only do business for half of that. In other words, a maximum of 25 million euros. But here's the masterstroke. Real Madrid decided to wait. That's right. According to Defensa Central, the club has already given up on signing the Frenchman now, but is preparing to get the player for free next year, when he could leave without a fee. Meanwhile, Konate is clashing with Liverpool, demanding a salary of £200,000 per week, way more than the £70,000 he currently earns. Liverpool is trying to convince him with performance bonuses, but the player wants guaranteed money. Easy to understand why he's unhappy, right? The Madrid board is watching closely and could bring in another international-level defender for zero cost. It would be yet another master move from the directors, who already brought Mbappe without spending on a transfer. And now, Madridistas, hold your heart, because this one is going to stir the soul of the fans. A piece of news that's dividing the fan base, sparking heated debates on social media, and creating that stomach-churning feeling that only someone who loves Real Madrid can understand. Ever since Kylian Mbappe put on the white shirt, Real Madrid's attack has never been the same. And it's not just an impression. According to analysis from the respected portal Madrid Universal, it's more than clear. Mbappe has surpassed Vinicius Jr. in the team's offensive hierarchy. Yes, my friends, the game has turned, and it turned quickly. What once seemed like a healthy rivalry, a competition of giants for the spotlight and attack, has now turned into something much more direct. Mbappe is the owner of Real Madrid's attacking line, and Vinicius, well, Vini is being left behind. And that hurts. It hurts a lot. Because what's happening here isn't just a temporary drop in form or a bad spell. It's a real change in who commands the attack. Mbappe has taken on the role of leader on the pitch. He takes responsibility, decides games, imposes respect, and finishes with cold blood, with maturity, and with surgical precision. Meanwhile, our beloved Vinicius, he's still that explosive, electric, unpredictable guy, capable of tearing apart entire defenses with one dribble, one run, one different touch. But what's missing? Finishing. The right decision in the final play. Turning art into results. How many times have we seen Vini dribble past 3 players and miss the final pass? Or cut inside and shoot badly? We love this bold style of play, but he needs to be more accurate. And against Osasuna, this difference was brutally exposed. The numbers don't lie, and they're cruel with those who have a big name. Mbappe attempted 12 dribbles and succeeded in 8. Vinicius tried several and succeeded in just 1. That's not just bad luck. That's a clear sign that the balance is tipping one way. Mbappe, who arrived surrounded by doubt, with the press all over him and the weight of being the big name of the season, is playing with the coldness of a veteran. He's not out there trying to impress with tricks. He's there to kill games, to put the ball in the net. And in the end, that's what separates great players from geniuses. And look, no one here is underestimating Vinicius. We know he's one of the most talented players of the new generation, a guy who changed the outcome of a Champions League final against Liverpool, who has already carried the team through difficult phases, who has more than enough personality. But right now, he's falling behind, and it's visible on the pitch. Vinicius keeps running, fighting, giving everything. The attitude is there, the effort, the sweat, the fighting spirit, all present. But in practice, in what really decides matches, it's Mbappe who's delivering. And that's what makes the fans start looking differently at who leads the attack. The Spanish press is already commenting. Today's Real Madrid has a new leader, and he speaks French. And this leader is building his era with goals, assists, intelligent movement, and a cold mindset of someone born to perform at the highest level. Meanwhile, the Brazilian, who was once the face of Madrid's renewal, is now trying to adapt to a new role, that of a supporting actor. And let's be real, that was never Vinicius's place. He's a star, he's brightness. But he's going to have to work hard if he wants to regain ownership of the attack. And the craziest part is that for a long time, Real Madrid was Vinny's team. He was the face on the posters, the name in the fans' chants, the terror of defenders. But football is cruel, my friends. And when a guy like Mbappe arrives, hungry for glory, focused and with surgical execution, there's no way this throne change doesn't happen. What remains now is to wait and see how Vinicius will react. Will he accept this new scenario or fight with everything he has to reclaim his place? Will he reinvent himself? Will he improve his finishing? Because talent he has in abundance. But at Real Madrid, talent isn't everything. Results are what matter. And you already know, right? Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, hit the like button, and share this video with that friend who's still stuck in 2023 thinking Mbappe would never come to Real. Here we live in the present with white blood and merengue soul. Hala Madrid!